Okay, hello. Today I'm going to talk about the Blender particle system. I thought people would be interested in this part of Blender because they see it a lot in tutorials, and then they just want to know how to use it. So if they want to just go on their own and say, "Oh, I did not use a tutorial to make this video," they could use a Blender particle system instead of duplicating something 5 billion times. So we're gonna just pull out this display. Shift S, cursor to center. We're gonna pull this out till we get to the particle system. That's that tab over there, and then press plus. We're gonna change the particle settings to I don't know. Let's say we want to make sparks. That's what I'll show you how to make today. And then right underneath the settings is the type. So you see here the type is emitter, and there are only two types, emitter and hair. In part 2 of this tutorial, I'll be working on hair, and this time I'll work on emitter. Let's say we play the animation. You have little bright lights coming out of your cube. What I'm going to do is I'm going to delete the cube, and add in a plane. And just do the same thing quickly. Sparks. And so yeah, if you play the animation, see that throughout the whole animation, these little things will be falling from the plane and disappearing right here, no matter how you look at it. So let's take a closer look for a second. And the reason they stop, let's say down here, is because their lifetime is only 50 frames. So things that fall out of the plane on frame 1 will disappear at frame 50. If they come out at frame 40, let's say, they'll disappear at frame 90. Same for anything. If they come out at frame 200, they'll last till 250. If they come out at frame 240, they'll last to the end. The start number of the animation is the first frame, so things will start falling out of the plane until frame 1, but they'll stop falling out at frame 200. You'll see as you get to frame 200. So sorry about this. Those things will stop falling out of the plane all the way to 250. And then I'll start over again. The reason they fall is because if you go down here, they're with Newtonian physics, and Newtonian physics are pretty much go with gravity. So gravity pulls downward. No physics will just leave them on the face of the plane, so they just appear and disappear along the plane, not falling or anything. Just on a plane. I don't like that, but whatever. So let's say we press Newtonian for a second, and we went to here. And we go down towards this gravity and uncheck gravity. Now it's still Newtonian physics, but there's no gravity, so it won't be pulled downward, but it won't stay on the face of the plane. The only other direction that it might go would be upward. So you see that now they're going upward. So if we rendered this image, let's see what it looks like. So render the image. First of all, you can see the plane, and you see that every little dot that comes out is a bright light. So we can see the plane also. I want you to notice that, because when you go down here and deselect the emitter, and the emitter is the plane, you won't see it when you go back. So yeah, you don't see where the bright lights are coming from, they're just appearing. I think we'll be using no emitter. As you can see, these bright lights are coming randomly out of the plane. A way to fix that is to go up and emit from vertices, faces, and volume. Faces and volume are pretty much the same thing. Vertices will come out, they'll come out only from the vertices of the actual plane. So right now, apparently there are 4 vertices, because that's what a plane starts with. And I can show you all 4 of them by simply going to edit mode. 1 vertice, 2 vertices, 3 vertices, 4 vertices. But what if we subdivided the plane? Now there's another vertex right in the center. So press tab, and now play it, and you see that coming out from the center is also another thing. Now subdivide again, and now you have all these vertices. So pretty much what vertices does is it could be just like faces, except that you can control where they come out by how much times you subdivide the thing. So now you see that they're coming out of all the new vertices, and they're disappearing at frame 50, like we said, or 50 frames later. So what we're gonna do, we'll keep the lifetime at 50 actually. Oops. But random is, some of them will disappear randomly. So 0.5, half of them will appear randomly, and disappear randomly, and half of them will disappear at the right time. And you see, you get these weird lights, weird patterns at the top, which is kind of cool. We're gonna select emit from faces again, so just because I like it better. But for sparks, they don't just go straight up sparks. They pretty much go out to the side. So what you want to do, since we have our thing subdivided, and we're emitting from faces, we can go down in our particle system to where it says tangent over here, and just make the tangent, let's say, I don't know, 0.5, and every face will emit outward. So you play the video now, see that they're going outward a little bit. That's 0.5 is the big tangent. Let's say 1 we do for a tangent, and then we play from the beginning, and you see that they're spreading outward. Problem is they're going up really high, so we need to make the lifetime very short. I'm thinking we'll make the lifetime 5, and we'll keep random at 0.5. Okay, 5 is a little bit too small. Let's go to 10. So you could just play around, I guess. So you get a cool sparky effect. So yeah, they're doing that. And before we get to like coloring and everything, just change the number probably down to 200. And now only 200 things will come out because, whoops, because sparks don't have that much stuff in them. We'll up it to 900 actually. And then try that again. So yeah, and remember, if we render the image, since we deselected emitter, you don't see the plane. This image is being rendered through camera view, so yeah. But anyway, so if we just played through the whole video, kind of see. that it's just coming out like sparks. Now sparks don't particularly go on for a long time. So we'll switch from 250 to maybe 100 frames, and also we're gonna start this at end this at 100 instead of 200. We're also gonna make the start negative. So -5 or -5, just so that in the beginning you already have sparks and they don't take a little while to form. And so you just, through the whole animation, see sparks. Now, the last thing I'm going to show you before we color the halo, the bright lights and make them different sizes, is down here. We have a few things. First of all, we can select billboard, and all of them come up as billboards instead of little bright lights. So if we render the image, see that they're all billboards kind of thing. But I don't think we want that. We want halos. There's also groups and objects, which I'll get into in a second. And there's halos, and none would be nothing. Also, yeah, so objects, let's say you added a cube, let's say, and you made it smaller. You reselected the plane, but you went to object and you selected the cube and the thing that pops up, and now all of the planes will be the cube. And if you switch the cube size to be bigger, the cubes there will be bigger, and if you switch the color of the cube to orange, then the cubes there will be orange, and they'll do whatever they normally did. And groups are a group of objects. So let's say I added a circle also, and I smoothed it out and turned it, I don't know, green or pink, green. And then I selected this and went to particle systems and selected from object to group. But before we go to group, I actually realized that we're gonna need to put these in a group. So select the cube and go to the cube tab or the object data tab. Select plus and name this group. I don't know, call it whatever you want. Then press add to group, and yeah. So now this cube is in the group. Press add to group also, and that's in the group. So these are both in the group, I think. Let me just add this to group one more time just in case. So yeah, they should both be in the group now. And if we go to particles and select this, and over here select group. So the sphere isn't in the group. As you can see, anything in the group would show up over here. So you could have spheres and cubes. I accidentally didn't make this random cube. Next video we'll be learning still how to make sparks, and maybe the third part we'll learn how to make hair. But until then, yeah, I'll see ya.